debt plan. Okay. Money's not good. Money's not evil. It's just how we conduct business instead of trading chickens. Debt. Is debt good? Debt is a four-letter word. Yes and no. I built a fortune. I built a huge net worth by using the right kind of debt. What is good debt? Good debt is anything that you use to make you more money. Bad debt is any debt you use that doesn't make you more money. Good debt is debt that other people pay back. Bad debt is when you pay it back. Now, I made a fortune buying real estate and buying apartment complexes and fourplexes and houses and things like that. Some of those we flipped and some of those we kept and turned them into long-term rental. My wife and I made $10 million in real estate by buying a little 4-unit building. And then we had the owner actually financed it. He financed it. We made them monthly payments. Then later on, we got some new financing on it. The houses were the fourplexes were $250,000. The rule of 72 says it's 24 years for it to double in value. So I borrowed 250 from the seller. I borrowed that from the bank. And then they went up in value. They went up to 500,000. Well, guess what? The renters paid them off. The renters made the payments on that and they paid those off for me. So I bought them for 250. I bought them for 250,000. They doubled in value. They went up to $500,000. Now, are things going to be more expensive in the future? Absolutely. Why? Because the governments of the world can't balance their budgets. So what do? They print more money. They're causing inflation. And if you own things that go up in value, we appreciate it. It's called appreciation. But if you don't, it's called inflation and you're getting crushed. Because step number 5 is to save and spend. And it's costing you more money to live. You're not making enough money and it's costing you more money. The rich are getting richer. Now, the reason the rich are getting richer is because they are investing in assets that go up in value. They're investing in assets that make money. The stock market is businesses that make money. Real estate, rentals and things like that is real estate that makes money. Somebody else is making the payments. That's good debt. Good debt is if you're going to go to college and get some college loans, if you're going to be a doctor, well, that's probably okay because you're going to make a boatload of money as a doctor. But if you go to school to be a piano teacher, then you're not going to make enough money. Okay, that profession just doesn't make enough money. And you're going to run up a whole bunch of debt and not be able to make a lot of money with it. When you get into debt, the question is, does this make me more money? And number 2 is who's going to pay that back? Now, my rental units, I bought them for 250. They went up to 500,000. The rents came in every month. I paid the mortgage payments with the rents, and I paid them all off over a 27-year period. So they went up to be worth 500,000 each. The loans went from 250 to 0, and I made $500,000 on that building. Guess what? I had 20 of them. That's how we made $10 million. And that's how we gave $3 million of it to the foundation. We gave some of our real estate away. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because not to impress you, but to impress upon you that you can do this. Now, the one thing you all have in common is you're in the game. You are in this game of life. You are in the game of finance. You are in the game of money. If you're breathing, you're playing the game. Now, if you say, I'm not playing the game, well, guess what? You're playing the game. And everybody wants your money, and you're in the game. So you might as well know the rules, and you might as well play the game, and games are fun. So talking about debt, is debt good or bad? It depends on what you do with it, and it depends on who pays it back. My renters paid me all that money, paid all the payments. So did I really care what interest rate I was paying? Yeah, I did, but somebody else is paying it. If you go to school and spend a lot of money to get a degree in humanities, you're not going to make much money. If you get a degree in social work, you're just not going to make much money. It's just pure math. It's not personal. Most of you should have a career that makes money and a hobby that you can do to help other people. Okay. That's just kind of it because you're just not going to make it. So let's talk about debt. And we're going to show you this really fun calculator that we created. And there's all kinds of wonderful things, but we're going to show you this one that we've created. And this is part of our Get Out of Debt series. So now the Get Out of Debt, we're going to put some things in here and we're going to use some examples of this. So let's talk about our rental property, my rental 4-unit building. And I'm going to use actual numbers here because I can make the math units. Now, the balance on that was $55,000 when I bought it. Now, this is 40 years ago. So we're just going to add zeros to it. But you know what? The interest rate back at the time was 10%, and my monthly payment was $591 a month. How did I know that? Because I made the payments for like 15 years. It was 15-year loan. So I paid, the property was worth 80,000 when I bought it. I bought it with a small down payment. I owed the guy $55,000 at 10%, and the monthly payment was $591. If it's in white, you can fill it out. If it's in green or different color, don't touch it. Now, I paid that, and I was going to pay $51,000 in interest over the life of that 15 year. Did I care? Not really, because I had renters that were paying me. So in this example, it took 18 years. Now, if I would have, the rents go up, and instead of paying $591 a month, guess what? I'm going to pay $800 a month. So instead of paying $591, I'm going to pay $800 a month. Guess what? That term goes from 15 years down to about 8 years, from 180 months down to 103 months. We're going to save 78 months right here. We're going to save 78 months right there by simply doing that one thing. By increasing the payment, we're going to save 78 months. And guess what? We're also going to save $24,000 in interest. Okay. By paying a little bit more, 591 to 800, we're going to pay that baby off 78 months faster. We're going to save $24,000, and we're going to save a boatload of interest. Ooh, cool. All right. What other things do we have? We have a credit card. And how much do we owe on the credit card? Let's say we owe $20,000 on the credit card. Guess what? Those suckers are whacking us at 18% interest. Okay. Now, most monthly payments on a credit card is about 2% of the outstanding balance. So the minimum on that is probably $400. Okay, so that's going to take you 93 months to pay. If it was 350, I think it's 1.75. Let's say we're paying at $300. Well, that's because it was 18%. Let's do 21% because I'm familiar with that. Okay, so that's not going to work. We're going to have to pay. Say, okay, there we go. Months. Here you go. If you have $20,000 in credit card debt at 21%, your monthly payment, if you pay $350 a month, it's going to take you 2,000 months to pay that off. This $20,000, you're going to pay $700,000 in interest. Wow, that sucks. If we pay $400 a month, now we'll have it paid off in 10 years. So you put $20,000 on your credit card at 21%. It's $400 a month is the payment, and it's going to take you 10 years to pay it off, and you're going to spend $27,000 in interest. That sucks. Now, if we come over here and we say we're just going to increase that payment to $500, guess what we just did? Instead of paying $400 right here, we increased the payment to $500, and now we're going to pay that. We're going to pay that off we're going to pay it 4 years faster. We're going to pay it off 4 years faster. We're going to save, there's the 4 years right there. We're going to save in interest $13,000 in interest. We're still going to pay $14,000 in interest, so that sucks. We don't want to pay that much. So we're going to change that to $600. But look, and that changes your numbers right there. Look how that changes those numbers. The other thing is, screw it. We're not going to pay these guys 18%. We're going to go find a different credit card, and we're going to transfer this balance from 21% to 9%. Good. Now, if that's the case, it's still going to take us 5 years to pay it off. But guess what? If we can pay $600 versus $400, so what do? We change the interest rate. We got a different credit card. Interest rate is the killer. The interest rate will kill you faster than anything you can see, but you just don't see it because it's, hey, it's just 1%, just 2%, no big deal. So if we look at these two numbers, if we can get a better rate at 9%, by paying your bills on time, you can borrow money at a better rate. Don't be borrowing money unless it makes you money. But some of you borrowed money, so let's get you out of that trap. Now, it's going to take you 5 years to pay it off, and you're going to pay $5,000 in interest. But if we simply increase the payment to $600, we're going to save $2,000, and we're going to pay it off. We're going to save 2 years. See how this works? This is what is so cool about what we're doing. So we got a credit card debt. We got school debt. Some of you went to professional school, and and you've got some school debt. And guess what? These guys are charging you 6%. And we're just going to make up a payment. Now, if the payment works, it'll calculate. If it doesn't work, it won't. Okay. So here it is right here. At $10,000 worth of school debt at 6%, if we pay $200 a month, it's going to take 5 years, 4 or 5 years to pay that off, 4 years right here. Now, if we increase that payment to $300 a month, we're going to save 2 years, almost 2 years on the payment right there. 2 years, we're going to save 2 years. We're going to save a whole bunch of interest. So the nice thing about this is that this is going to help us to do what we're doing. There's our rent, there's our home, there's our car. We have a car, and our car is $20,000. And oh, hey, guess what? We're going to get your car at low interest rate. It's only going to be 4% interest rate. And the payment's going to be $250 a month. Okay. So it's going to take 93 months to pay that off. You're going to pay $3,300 in interest. But you know what? If we paid $500 a month, we could pay that baby off and save a whole bunch of time, can't we? So instead of paying this over 7 years, we're going to pay it off in 4 years. See what we're doing here? Now, how do you get out of debt? Well, how you get out of debt is you figure out your cash flow and say, well, what do I really want to do? Now, most people, as you're doing this, your goal is to, let's just add a couple more pieces in here. Here's a $500,000 house and it's 6%. And let's say it's $3,000 a month. That will just barely, that's 30 years. That sucks. A $500,000 house at 6% at $3,000 a month is going to take you 30 years to pay it off. You're going to pay $577,000 in interest. Now, if we can pay $3,500 a month, then we're going to save like 9 years. We're going to save $198,000, and we're going to pay it off a lot faster. Okay. So now when you're doing this, you're going to say, well, what's my goal? Well, the goal is to kill the littlest debt first. Let's say that we've got a second credit card, number 2, and the second credit card we owe $5,000 on. And guess what? Those suckers are charging us 21% interest, and it's $100 a month. Does that calculate? Yeah. Look at that. A $5,000 credit card is 21%. $100 a month takes you 10 years to pay that off. So the way we do this, there's all kinds of different ways that you can pay this off and attack it. But what we like to do is what we call to do the snowball. Now, paying your debts off faster is 90% mental and 10% know-how. The first thing we want to do is we want to go kill and crush the little ones. So we know right now, in fact, if I'm going to say that, I'm going to say, what's the smallest one? Right? Well, the smallest one's right there. Then the school one, let's go down just a little bit so you can see that. So I'm looking on here saying, all right, what order should we go after this to get out of debt? All right, well, the smallest amount happens to be right there. It happens to be that $5,000 one. So we're going to do that first. The next smallest one is the school debt. So that's going to be number 2. We're going to go after that second. Then we're going to pay off the highest interest rate, which happens to be that credit card. That's 3. And then we're going to pay off the next credit, the car. That's 4. And then we're going to pay off the rental units, maybe. And then we're going to pay off the house. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in that order. Now you can do this. You can actually come here and say, all right, here's all my debt right here. I'm going to come here to data. I'm going to come down here to sort range. I want to resort this in a different order so I can see it differently. So I'm going to go to data, then to sort range. Then I'm going to go to the advanced sort range. Okay, advanced sort range. When I click on it, I'm going to say, which ones do I want to sort? Well, I want to sort this one right over here, which happens to be column N. I want to change this. I want to sort it by N. So what you do is you come click the numbers over here, 4 through 9, right there. And then that's gonna say all these cells are in play. Then I'm going to pull it down to sort, and I want to sort column N to pay off first. And so it's just going to renumber them. Guess what? It just renumbered them all. So this just put this in your order. Okay. This just put it in the order that you went into, and it's the littlest debts first. Now you can do this just by listing those debts first, but there's the littlest debt right there. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to save some money. We're going to pay the sucker off faster. How long is it going to take to pay this off? Well, I've got 21% interest at $5,000. I need to go after this thing. I can pay this off in almost 2 years. If I could pay $350 a month on that thing, good. So you can see what I'm doing. My payment's $100, but if I paid $350, I'll pay this off in 15 months. If I could pay that at $500 a month, ooh, I'm going to kill this thing. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay that baby off first. Now, when that gets paid, now it's over. It's gone. I don't owe it anymore. So guess what? I'm just going to take those off. Paid, paid, paid. It's gone. I crossed it off. Now I'm going to go tack the second one. Well, the second one is that school debt. It's at 6%. So what I'm going to do is, hey, now I'm going to take that extra money that I found by making more money, and I'm going to go attack it. Boom. Let's see. I need about $600 there. Boom. I need $700. Boom. You can see the goal is to take that down from the 6 years, 5 years, down to the next one. And then as soon as we get that done, we attacked it with a vengeance. Now you'll notice it's not going down very fast, but we're on the term. But we went from 5 years down to a year. Let's say that we get that baby up with all that extra money we've made. Boom. As soon as we get that paid off, boom, it's gone. Boom, it's gone. Boom, it's gone. Now I'm going to attack the third big one. Okay. Now some people, if the balance is similar, if the credit card was at 20 and the school was at 20, and this one's at 9% versus 6%, the goal would be to pay the smallest balance first and kill it, and then take that extra money and roll it to the next one. Take that extra money, roll it to the next one. Take that extra money, roll it to the next one. Okay, so that's basically how that one works. Now, the good thing is we're going to continue to work on these kinds of things. And I know that's an awful lot, but I want you to play. I want you to be part of this challenge. And we want to keep score of where you're at. So I want you all to send me a quick email at successofmoneyfoundation@gmail.com and say, I'm in. I want to play. I want to be part of the 30-day challenge. And we're going to send you a checklist. And then your job is to go in on this checklist. And this is your personal one. This is for you to muck up. Add to it, subtract to it, do whatever you want with it. But this is your checklist. Your job is to get in the airplane, pull out that checklist, check everything off that you need to do, and then go fly the plane. That's the key. All right. So why don't you throw that in there? We're going to send you that copy. We're going to email it to you. So email it. You need to have Google Docs. Everybody has Google Docs. If you don't, just get a Gmail account and then just go up in the corner, go search on YouTube how to open up a Google Doc, and or just go click on the link and it'll pull it up, and then go put all that information in. All right. So thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to send some money out. Guess what? You came to class. You're getting a reward. Get a reward. Invest the reward. Ring the bell. You're here. Good. You rang the bell. You get a reward. Take that reward. Invest that reward. Ring the bell. Get a reward. Invest that reward. Life's a game, and games are fun. The game of money is not money. It's numbers. It's just numbers. Add, subtract, multiply, and divide. It's just numbers. Now, when you do the numbers, if you play the game well, you get bonuses. The bonuses are real. If you play the game and win, you get bonuses. Then you take those bonuses and you can have a better life with that money. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for making this happen. We're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to be kicking off, and we're going to begin to go through now the 30-day challenge. Ring the bell. Check, 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 check. And here's all the things we want to get done in the month of August. And then we're going to do it in September and October. And this is how you keep track. This is how you keep your airplanes flying. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to be right back. We're going to give you